If you want to make more money, start reading more, okay? It is one of the highest return habits I have ever built, because for a few dollars, literally, for a few dollars in a few hours of your attention, you can literally download somebody's life work, their failures, their wins, their best thinking compressed into a book. You don't need more tips. You need to think better. You need better thinking, and reading will give you that. Look, this video, it's not going to be about some, morning routine or the next productivity hack. This is going to be about, the one habit that has quietly made me more money, more confident, and honestly, just a better thinker in general. And that habit is reading, okay? And I'll be real with you here. I'm here to earn my place on YouTube the hard way or the right way, I suppose. I'm not trying to just, bait you into liking, subscribing, a fancy sales pitch, none of that. My only goal with this channel is to give you, something real, some real value, through my lived experiences as a entrepreneur. I've been self-employed for a decade now, been an entrepreneur my entire life. And I just want to provide value on this channel. I believe that the more value I provide, the better the world will treat me. So if this video helps, gives you a new perspective, then feel free to hit that like, that sub, that'd be amazing. But if it doesn't, no worries. I appreciate your time. So look, quick backstory. I've been reselling clothes on the internet for a long time now. I own a full-time online reselling business. And it's, a multi six-figure business, but, I didn't get here. I don't have a business degree. I didn't take any courses. The one consistent habit that has been able to create this life for me is reading. And I'll just lay it down for you. Sometimes I read on my Kindle. A lot of times I'll listen to audiobooks, while I'm driving, while I'm working, I'll have a book in my ear all day long. When I'm feeling like uninspired, or kind of stuck, with whatever's going on, I'll actually go to the library. I'll go to the thrift store. I'll buy, they're giving away books at the thrift store. These are dollars at the thrift store. A library card is free. So that is, kind of my reading diet. And over time, I started to realize that the more I read, the more clearly I can think. And the more clearly I can think, the better I can make decisions. And the better I can make decisions, the more money I can make. And that connection is real. Okay. Now, I know some people might say, why read? We live in this, amazing world where we have Google, where we have ChatGPT, when you have access to every single answer you want within 5 seconds. Okay. It's super valuable. But it's also the problem. That is exactly the problem. We become obsessed with answers, and we've forgotten the value of the process. Reading isn't about speed. It's really not about finding the answers or the solutions at all. It's about developing your ability to sit with an idea, to understand how someone got from point A to point Z. It's not instant. It's not, jumping to point Z right away. It's that process. It's not flashy, but reading rewires the way you think, And in business, what I found is that it's kind of everything. Reading has taught me not just how to do things, but how to see the world, how to see opportunities, how to notice patterns, how to create systems. It's helped me envision my role in the world and my role in my business, and what kind of business I actually want to build in general. Not just one that makes money, but one that supports the kind of life I want to live. I actually read this the other day, and I just thought it was fascinating. So, as most people, Jeff Bezos, the guy who created Amazon, the billionaire, he actually, Amazon owns a Kindle. And from what I understand, the Kindle was Jeff Bezos' pet project, within Amazon. He kind of built the Kindle because he was worried that people were losing the ability to focus. He saw, in the digital age, attention spans were shrinking. And even though he's one of the most successful, tech entrepreneurs of all time, he created a piece of technology that would slow people down. That's what the Kindle was meant to do. It was his answer to a fast moving world, to bring back people's long form attention span. And that tells me everything because long form focus, that's where I believe the edge is now in a world where answers are instantaneous. So let me walk you through a few ways reading has actually directly made me money with my business and in life in general. So first, it's absolutely sharpened my thinking, my vocabulary, my train of thought. I just don't, I don't just absorb information faster. I actually process it and analyze it better. I can analyze a situation in my business. I can see through the clutter quicker. I can, it ultimately saves me time. It prevents mistakes, and time and mistakes, that's money. Reading is kind of like time travel. It saves you so much time. Second, reading gave me systems, not just tactics, like a video like this, a YouTube video, for all intents and purposes, it might show you, a clever trick, to do something in your business faster. But reading a book like The E-Myth Revisited or Atomic Habits, that teaches you how to build systems that are reputable, reputable structures for your entire business. And that's where a lot of real growth comes from. Third, and this is a big one, it actually taught me how to zoom out. When I was just starting my business, every week just felt like life or death, feast or famine. One bad weekend of sales, and I was spiraling like a downward spiral. But reading trained me to see long term. I don't chase trends anymore. I focus on compounding habits, the kind of stuff that pays off, 6 months, a year, 5 years from now. Okay, it taught me to zoom out. It was very, very valuable. Fourth would be reading actually gives me new ideas consistently. Every time I hit a wall, in business or my life, I'll read. I'll fill my brain with information. I feed my brain. I find inspiration in someone else's experience. I don't wait for motivation to come. I will actually go out and find it. And it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Reading is free or cheap. You can literally I get all my books from the library or the thrift store. This was a $4 book and it has somebody's, 20 years of trial and error in it. This book on Steve Jobs, one of the greatest CEOs, renowned of our lifetime, created Apple. This book was $6. You don't need to spend thousands on a course or whatever. You just need to read more books. This is a refurbished Kindle. I bought it on Amazon. It was like $19. This is on my hip all day long. It's crazy. You don't even need a lot of time to do it. Just, find simple ways to consume more books. Audiobooks are amazing. You do it while you're working, while you're driving. Pop on the Kindle at night, just a couple minutes, 10 minutes before you go to bed. This is also like melatonin. It'll put you right to sleep. So it's a dual purpose, but it doesn't matter how you do it. It just matters that you do it. So look, if you're not sure where to start, here are a few books that have actually had a huge impact on my life and how I run my business. So first one, E-Myth Revisited. I talked about it earlier. Michael Gerber, it helped me just to think like a business owner, not just like a person running a side hustle. That was a huge breakthrough. Another great one is Essentialism. You've probably seen the cover. It's all like scrabbled. That just taught me how to do less, but do better. So that was just a great book to just kind of narrow down my perspective. Another great book is Deep Work by Cal Newport. That actually taught me kind of how to protect my time and my attention. I mentioned this one in the last video, War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Just reminds me that resistance is real. Resistance is the enemy and not the competition. So those are a few great books I would add to any aspiring entrepreneur's reading list. So you want to make more money? Learn how to think better. Reading will teach you that. It's not magic. It takes a little bit of work, but it's real. Okay. And the best part is nobody can take it from you. It's quiet, it's personal, and it's permanent. In a noisy, distracted world, that is a competitive advantage. What you read is yours, and you can choose what to do with it. So if you are a reader or you want to become one, let me know. I would love to hear in the comment section down below. And I'm always looking for, you know, what to read next, what to kind of branch off from my my reading journey, so to speak. So if you have any good recommendations, let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to put this video out there because reading has been such an important part of my life, and I want to start talking about books and whatnot more on this channel. So this is kind of my gateway into that, just talking about the importance of reading. So I think we'll leave it at that for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. In the meantime, be good to one another, and I'll see you guys again. Peace.